Well, first off, so I can get it right off the bat, I'm here to ask for your vote today. I'm here to ask for your vote for me. I'm here to ask for your vote for Rebecca Clayfish, because you got to get her elected as well. And I went with your help. This shirt I'll be proud to wear on Wednesday morning and still be Governor Scott Walker of the great state of Wisconsin. I was kidding Joel and the rest of the team. I've been here before. I've been at Lamira a number of times for seeing the growth over there. I'm here in part, not just to ask for your vote, but to say thank you. Thank you for growing. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your dedication to keep businesses like Quad growing in the great state of Wisconsin. With your help, we're going to continue to grow jobs like Quad in the great state of Wisconsin. So thank you to all of you. You know, yesterday morning, you opened up the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. What did it say on the front page? The headline was Hiring Outlook Bullish. Why is that? Why is that? That's because we transformed things here in the state of Wisconsin. We made it easier for private sector employers to create more jobs, to create more opportunity, to help more families put food on the table and grow our opportunity here in the state of Wisconsin. And we did that because 2 years ago, when I was coming through places like this, touring, I was running for governor, and I ran because I saw that Wisconsin faced both an economic and a fiscal crisis. And I looked at that more than anything. I said, for two reasons, I got to do something about that. One's named Matthew, the other's named Alexander. Tonette and I have two boys, our sons Matt and Alex. One's going to graduate in a week on June 9th. The other one's going to be a senior starting this next Thursday after he finishes off his 11th grade. And for Matt and for Alex and for every other kid and grandkid in this state, I want to make sure they didn't inherit the kind of mess we inherited a year and a half ago. That's why I ran for governor. That's why I made the tough choices as your governor. And that's why I'm glad to say we're succeeding in taking on those challenges to move Wisconsin forward. You see, the great news out there is the reforms are working. Lieutenant Governor talked about it. $1 billion documented in savings for the hardworking taxpayers. For the first time in 12 years, property taxes actually went down on a median valued home. Think about that. Went down. Not just stayed, even went down. $154 million budget surplus. And best news of all, we actually gained jobs in 2011. We're gaining jobs in 2012. Since I've taken over as your governor, I'm proud to say Wisconsin has added more than 30,000 new jobs, and Quad helped us do it. Thank you for making that possible. I love that sign. I see it all over the place. It says, I stand with Walker, but let me tell you, the reason I'm proud to have people hold that sign up is because I stand with the hardworking taxpayers of this state. We took on the powerful special interests, and every day, if you elect me governor again on June 5th, I'll continue to stand with the hardworking taxpayers of this state. You see, things are exciting. We're turning things around. Remember, a couple years ago, sadly, 2008, 2009, 2010, Wisconsin lost more than 100,000 jobs during that time frame. Our unemployment rate was over 9% at the peak. We turned things around last year. We gained more than 23,000 new jobs. We've gained more than almost 35,000 plus new jobs this year. We're headed down the right path. We're turning things around. We're moving Wisconsin forward, but we're not done yet. There is more work to be done. 2 years ago, when I was a candidate for governor, Statewide Chamber of Commerce did a survey of employers. You know how many thought we were heading the right direction? Just 10%. Just 10% of our employers thought Wisconsin was heading the right direction. That same survey was just conducted a couple months ago for 2012. You know what the number's gone up to? 94% of our employers believe that Wisconsin's heading the right direction. Now, I'm competitive. I want to know what's wrong with the other 6%, so we're going to work on them. But for us to go from 10% to 94%, you all know, Joel, when we talked to him earlier, was out selling Quad. He was out selling what you do like he should be, like good employers should be across the state, around the country, and around the globe. And one of the great things is not only do employers in the state believe we're heading in the right direction, employers across the country are taking note. For years, we were in the bottom 10 of the best and the worst states to do business in. Year before I took office, we were 41. Year before, 43. Last month, when the new rankings came out, you know where Wisconsin was? Not in the bottom 10. We broke the top 20 for the first time ever. That shows we're turning things around. We're heading in the right direction. But you know what? On each of those surveys, you know what the number one concern was? For employers who overwhelmingly said they plan on adding jobs in 2012, you know what the biggest concern was? Small business, big business, everywhere in between? It was the recall. It was the recall. And I can understand why. Because if you're an employer in this state, if you own a small business or you're at a company like Quad, you understand that things have changed for the better in this state. We are heading in the right direction. People want to continue to go forward, but they're afraid that somehow if the wrong choice is made on Tuesday, we might suddenly retract and go backwards. Now, it's been 51 days since the mayor of Milwaukee was asked what his plan would be to balance this budget. He admitted this week to another reporter he doesn't have a plan for economic development. So all we can do is look at Milwaukee and guess as to what he might do. In the last 8 years, taxes and fees in that city have gone up 43%. Unemployment in Milwaukee has gone up by more than 26%. I've said time and time again, we don't want Wisconsin to become like Milwaukee. We want to help Milwaukee and any other city that's in trouble become more like the good things we've done in Wisconsin. That's how we move this state forward. Now let me just end with this, because I want to invite a friend of mine, Nikki Haley, who came up, who was elected the same day I was, on my birthday, November 2nd of 2010. I happened to be elected on my birthday. Nikki was elected in South Carolina to her first term as well. She has done amazing things for that state. She's courageous in taking on challenges. She's courageous in moving her state forward. She, like a number of other governors, Bobby Jindal, Chris Christie, Bob McDonald, who've come on with us, understand that the way you get your economy working again is by letting the people of your states create more jobs and getting government out of the way, not the other way around. That's what's fundamentally important. Well, let me just tell you one quick thing, though, before I bring Governor Haley up. The other day I was at a factory in Oshkosh, and I was touring around, and I talked to employee after employee after employee. I love seeing how things are made. I'm like a kid. I love seeing how things are made in the state of Wisconsin. At the end of the tour, one of the three guys who are the co-owners of the business said, "Hey, you got to meet this guy, Chris." So we swung back, found him where he was back in the plant, and we came around, and he said, "Chris, tell me a little bit about your story." And he said to me, "Well, Governor, I voted for your opponent the last time. My parents are Democrats. I was raised a Democrat." So I waited, and he said, no, tell him the rest of your story. He said, "But I'm voting for you." He said, "The reason I'm voting for you is because I never thought there'd be someone with the courage in this state to take on the tough challenges." Said, "Even though I don't necessarily agree with every single step you've taken or every single way you've done it, I appreciate the fact that finally somebody had the courage to take on the tough challenges." Now, to me, that's a little remarkable, because I often think about the fact that politics has got to be the only profession where you get called courageous just by keeping your word, right? I mean, everywhere else in life, in business, in our families, it's expected, but somehow it's exceptional in politics. Well, the courage that Tonette and I have gotten, that we've drawn on to take on this challenge for the last year and a half, the courage I hope to continue to draw on, to continue to lead this state forward after Tuesday, is courage I get from the people of this state. You see, every day, just about every day over the last year and a half, I've had the honor of traveling this state as your governor. As I go from one end of the state to the other, I go to factories, I go to farms, I go to small businesses, I go to schools, I go to clinics, and every day I meet moms and dads just like Tonette and I. I meet moms and dads all over this state. Moms and dads who go to work every day and work hard for a living. Not just to earn a paycheck. Not just to put food on the table. not just to put clothes in the backs of our kids. I meet moms and dads just like Tonette and I who go to work for the same reason we do, because we want our children to have a better future than the one we inherited. That's what this election's all about. We go to work hard for the same reason you go to work hard, and for those of you who are grandmas and grandpas, you did the same thing for your kids. We work hard every single day because we want our kids to have a better home, a better community, and with your help, starting again on June 5th, a better state. Thank you so much for helping us move this state forward. Now, I've literally been bragging on Quad the whole way up here. And so I said, Governor Haley got to hear a little bit about not only what you do on the floor, but what you do with Quad Med and everything else. She's been absolutely blown away with how exciting this is. She, as I mentioned, has done a phenomenal job in South Carolina as part of a whole new wave of governors who understand if we want to take back America and put our nation on the right track, we do it one state at a time. We're proud to do it here in Wisconsin. I'm proud to bring a great leader up here as well, Governor Nikki Haley.
Thank you very much. Hey guys, how are you? I am absolutely thrilled to be in Wisconsin, but I got to tell you, as soon as I got off the plane, I go, oh my God, it's winter here. It was 95 degrees when we left South Carolina. It was a little breezy when we got here, but you have a beautiful state. And I want to tell you that what is amazing is that all eyes across our country are on Wisconsin. Everybody's looking at Wisconsin. But they're not looking at Wisconsin for the protesters that you had. They're not looking at Wisconsin for the chaos that they saw happen. They're looking at Wisconsin because they remember what Wisconsin was like 3 years ago. They know the deficits that Wisconsin had. They know the unemployment that Wisconsin had. They know the hurt of the people that Wisconsin had. The reason the country knows that is because that was not much different than any other state in the country. Wasn't much different than South Carolina. But then we saw this governor come in, Scott Walker, who I've had the pleasure of watching him lead and leading alongside him. And he and a group of us said, we've got to keep our promise to the people. And what he did was he said, this is going to hurt. But if we do this for the people of Wisconsin, we will be better off for it. And what we also knew was this wave of governors that was elected in 2010 said, we will never be judged by what we say. We will always be judged by what we do. So what did Scott Walker do? Those deficits that you have, they're now surpluses. The unemployment that you had has now reached the lowest it's been since 2008. The businesses that are coming in more because they see the quality of life in Wisconsin is getting better. And the families, he continues to watch out for the families because he's not thinking about this year and this election. He's thinking about Wisconsin in year 3 and 5 and 7 and what she should look like when she grows up. The reason this governor from South Carolina cares is because he had the courage to go through the burn. He had the courage to take it on even when it got ugly. And he never stopped. He never stopped. And when the heat lifted, he lifted right with it. And it's because he knew he had something to prove to all of you, because you took a chance on him. Now where are we faced? The country is watching. And what are they watching? They are watching, are you going to reward the courage that he showed? Are you going to respond to the results he gave you? Are you going to go back and let it go back to where it was? I have faith in the people in Wisconsin. I'm a daughter of Indian parents that reminded us every day how blessed we were to live in this country. I know what America is. I know who Americans are. And what we love is we love fighters. We love fighters that understand that when it gets hot, you keep on moving and you fight for the good of the people. And that's what he's done. And I will tell you that if you can keep his back, if you have his back when it got its hardest, you are showing governors like me that when we fight for you, you will have our back. And that helps every governor across the country. So I want to tell you this. All eyes are on Wisconsin on Tuesday. And I know we're going to be celebrating. But while he has worked and fought for you, I need your help. Because now it's time for us to work for him. All of you have email. I need you to go to every one of your email lists. All of you have your cell phones. I need you to text your entire library. I'm a big Facebooker. All of you are on Facebook. I need you to go to all of your friends on Facebook because turnout matters. The fact that you can make history on Tuesday is something that we as Americans will say, we admire courage. We're going to fight for courage. We liked what he did. We stand by how hard he fought, and he's keeping on doing it. And you know what excites me is not what's going to happen on Tuesday, but Wisconsin 2 years from now, 4 years from now, 6 years from now, when people come back and look at your state and said, look at what the people did for the state of Wisconsin. So I applaud you for everything you're doing here. You have an amazing company. But I applaud you more for the governor that you have and what we're getting ready to do on Tuesday. Thank you very much. God bless you.